Hi, this is Glen Thompson, and you're listening to The Gareth Nelson Show.
That was absolutely beautiful. Glen, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
All right, Glen, tell us about, what was that piece about, firstly? And was that original composition? Or?
No, that one's written by my teacher, Fritz Bus.
Okay.
He is well known for teaching Tessa Ziegler, David Hewitt, and many others. And he's written many, many studies and pieces for students to develop them, and that's just a beautiful piece that highlights the tremolo study.
Oh, gorgeous. It really is. And guys, you are listening to the Gareth Nelson Show, so I know it sounds like it might be another station, but it's actually, we're having a different interview today because Glen, of course, is a now full-time classical guitarist. Am I right in saying
Absolutely,
that?
yes.
So tell us a bit about yourself, Glen. How did you get started into classical guitar? Tell us about your background.
Okay, well, when I was in school, probably about 16 years old, I picked up a guitar for the first time properly and just fell in love with it. Just the feeling of the strings under my fingers, it's the greatest feeling I can explain. And a friend of mine had a little acoustic guitar, and I'd just strum away, and you take old O'Donnell and throw your girlfriend's name in there and write a new song and mix it up, write another song, and just keep playing, keep jamming, and I just loved it. It was the most enjoyable thing I've ever done in my life. And so I practiced quite intensely at that stage, but it was mixed with a whole lot of other stuff that didn't really gel. And then I had a massive life change. I became a Christian, and so this became something. It was a real drug, sex, and rock and roll deal, and so I kind of saw it as a bit of a naughty thing. And so for a while, I put it on the shelf, and then just lifted it up every now and then and played sort of, but not as committed as I am now. And about 4 years ago, I revived my love for the classical guitar, and that's when things really took off. And I connected with my old teacher, Fritz Bus, and I've been going to him for the last few years at least, and so that's really where it's come to now.
And what artists inspire you, though? I mean, you mentioned your teacher, but I mean,
yes.
Artists, well-known artists that you'd say that's what I want to do.
Well, if I go all the way back, since I was a little boy, Elvis Presley's been
one of my favorites. Not what I expected, yeah.
No, absolutely one of my favorites from the beginning, just that bluesy, twangy tenor, young Elvis voice, like Any Way You Want Me and other numbers like that.
Yes.
Bob Dylan I love. I adore Dylan's Hurricane as a composition. It's phenomenal. Many others, Cat Stevens, Rodriguez, all those folk guys are really crazy about that. At a local level, meeting Art Matthews in high school and hearing him sing Teddy Bear on Felt School, I just thought, man, this guy's amazing. And just seeing his career develop and just how far he's gone, that was great. Others like Cito singing Besame Mucho.
Yes.
Man, that song's built for
And
me.
you sang it in the studio here, actually, a few weeks
really?
ago. Yeah,
Wonderful.
absolutely.
No, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
No, what a beautiful inspiration he is. And many others. I could Otis Redding. Joe Satriani is Always With You, Always With Me was a special piece in my early development. Dire Straits, others like that as well. Absolutely love quite a vast range of music. Even ranges that or rather genres that I'm not too interested in, I can still respect if they're done really well. So there's been a lot of influences and just appreciation for music in general.
And I know that you've written some of your own compositions as well. What inspires you as a songwriter?
Well, for me personally, it's just tinkling on the guitar, spending time with it, improv, just fiddling around at night. I've got some hours to kill, and you just dream around a scale, or just play around and stuff, and fiddle around with shapes and just whatever. Besides all the technical, academic stuff, rather just find a hook and then just build on it. And sometimes it can happen quite quickly, and sometimes you can do whatever you like and you cannot write. So for me, it's been like that. It hasn't been, I've got a great tune in my head and like Mozart, sit down and write it from my bed. I wish, but more just playing around on my instrument, loving it, enjoying it, and finding stuff.
And what would you say now is, again, it's like a double-edged question, this. What would you say first is the state of music in this country, South Africa? And then I wanted to ask you now about pursuing something in the classical format. I mean, is there a scope for it? Is there a market for classical music in this country?
Well, as far as the state of music, I think in this country, I think in the world in general, I think there's always great musicians. There's always really guys who stand out, and then there's the general stuff that people like, and I think that's awesome as well, and they're doing their job well. I did attend a recital by two well-known classical guitarists in our country the other day, which was obviously great. They're top performers. We had about 18, 20 people there, and that was very discouraging. Just to see the work, just to know the work that goes into it, and to the extent of the caliber of these performers, and there was just it was almost like just a little pocket of people, and I think it was quite well marketed. I just don't know if there's such a connection with that in our country. I don't know how it is in the world, but we're not in the days of Williams and Bream and Segovia and Yepes and others of that caliber. Yeah, so if that answers your question.
I mean, I've heard when people go to the Linda Auditorium, for example, to go watch like the Johannesburg Philharmonic, I mean, the crowds can be quite disappointing at times, and I mean, that's something that I think it's very sad to hear that, because I just wonder, does the youth understand music like that? Because if you listen to current pop music, it's so sort of generic, and also, can I say, produced and mass-produced, and of course it's maybe very sort of in the background. It doesn't have to rely on you listening to it. And as we discussed earlier, a lot of people want to hear music but not listen to music. Where music like this, of course, it means you have to sit down and actually listen to it. I mean, that's why I'm saying, is it not something that's quite daunting to pursue something like this, that a genre that maybe is not as in as it used to be right now?
I think we need to, as classical musicians, be careful of elevator music. We don't want to be the sort of ringtone, and even that great Tarrega piece, Grand Valse, is the Nokia theme.
Yes.
Every time you play it, it goes, hey, there's a Nokia, and once to the
Exactly,
phone if you're playing that song. And I think we need to be careful of just being sort of tinkle, tinkle, sprinkles in the background kind of thing. We need to be playing with passion. We need to be moving people's souls. And I think that comes from, there's something that's the typical thing in most classical music. It's don't memorize the piece, just keep playing by the music score, and it's almost detached. Now I think that's a vital and a precious pursuit, but I think we should come to the level of knowledge of the music we're playing and owning it. And
Absolutely.
Like Fritz Bus often says to me is, that's 20%, referring to the music score. The other 80%'s got to come from you.
Absolutely.
And typically in classical music, I've experienced that it's almost like, no, that's the music, you play the music. I think we need to live the music. I think we need to love it. And
not let it die either.
Absolutely. I think also, if I can answer it this way, I've got many students, and from young to older, I mean, beginning at about 7 years old, even 6, and a lot of these young people are finding a great passion in classical guitar. I had one young girl, she won't mind me naming her, Gemma Monzeglio, who as a student just literally sat in my music room, and I've had this experience a few times, and almost squealed with delight, saying, I can't believe how much fun this is,
Great.
Playing classical guitar. She could be playing the most popular songs out there, and that's great. And even those great artists, many of them have a classical foundation, and people just think it sort of hatches in the popular space.
Absolutely.
But they've done their homework. They've built a good foundation, and I think it stands them in good stead.
And speaking of which, now, I mean, you talk about crossing over. Do you cross over yourself? Are you prepared to play other genres, or do you want to focus purely on the classical?
Well, my passion now, my deep passion, is for the classical, and in particular the 10-string. Just with that beautiful resonance.
It's a beautiful guitar you've got here, by the way.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's built by Hans van den Berg, local luthier in Meyerton.
Fantastic.
In any way, it's world class. It's absolutely beautiful
stunning instrument.
Thank you for that. And but crossing over, yes, I love playing the blues. I love jamming. Jam with my friend Leon on a Sunday night. We sit for about 4 hours.
Oh wow!
And we just literally just improv and just solo and jam and chill out and just do the thing.
Have fun. Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely what it's about. You've got to be able to live it. And yeah, I love folk. I love blues. I love jazz. I'd love to take up jazz sometime. Electric jazz, just getting into that very clean sort of feel. But I'm absolutely in love with the classical. I've only got one life to live and one life to invest, and at the moment this is the highest thing for me. So I love it probably most. But happy to merge, happy to mix it up, even with some of my students, I sit there and we do a little bit of a duet, and I break off into a bit of a bluesy, solo-y thing with the guys, and it sounds pretty cool to mix those genres. And I think I'm excited for whatever lies ahead. I'm quite open.
Speaking of, what does the future hold for you? I know you were telling me now you've decided to pursue this full time, which I think is an absolute inspiration. Tell us more about what you want to do with the future.
Well, recently I left my day job, as it were, at 42 years of age, and I've got a wife, I've got 5 children, so it's a bit crazy who does that. But my heart is to take something that I've been developing for years, and really it has risen, as the cream, on the top for me at an internal, sustainable level. It's my passion, it's my love, it's what I love to do all day long, and to make money from it. So I teach. I'm going to build up my student body significantly over the next several months, and performing in restaurants and in wherever, weddings, corporate functions, whatever lies ahead. But I do need to think as an entrepreneur. One does
absolutely.
need to think like that if you're a musician in this country, if you have overheads, if you have a family.
Absolutely.
Otherwise live in a cool trailer and just jam. But I don't have that luxury. But so my heart is to really practice several hours a day, teach, perform. And the lovely thing, this is what excites me, in the particular genre that I'm in, my teacher, as I've mentioned, is I don't know if I said he's 87 years of age.
No, you didn't.
I'm sitting under Yoda. I don't know if he knows who Yoda is, but he's literally, he's the Jedi Master.
Wow.
And I'm sitting under this giant who himself studied with Narciso Yepes, the great Spanish composer, or guitar player, performer,
Absolutely.
and so forth.
Wow.
And I spoke to Fritz the other day, and I said to him, when does it start rounding off? Like, what have I got? Like, is he going to say 60 or what? I'm 42. What mileage have I got ahead of me? What career is ahead of me in this? And he said for him it was 82 years of age.
Wow.
And that's powerful. Now he's of great health.
Just shows you.
And so for me it's a wonderful opportunity now to make that career change.
Yes.
To go full time, to develop it, and hopefully by about 45 years of age I'm hoping to be really good. And
you're really good already, so maybe
you.
even more better, as you could
yes,
say.
I hear you. But so that's my heart, and to do this for the rest of my life.
Okay, where can we find out more information about you? I know you said you've got a Facebook page. And all
Yes,
that.
I've got a regular Facebook page. I'm not very technologically gifted. I'm planning on getting a bit better like that.
Yeah, we've been discussing that now, saying you got to get out there.
I've been severely rebuked. Just basically my normal Facebook page, Glen Thompson. You can find me on there, and it's all mixed with family and other things that I love. I've got a web address. I can't think of it offhand right now. www.10string.co.za.
I think, you sent it to me. Let's have a look.
Gareth will get it right.
I'll get it right for you now.
And that gives you a little bit of our information. I'm also part of a music school with my wife. She owns the music school, De Carpo Music School. And there she teaches children from 3, 4, 5, and 6 years old in a program called Major on Minors. We've got some classes called Beethoven, Mozart, Tchaikovsky, and Chopin.
Oh, wow.
And that branches into private lessons, either guitar, violin, piano, theory, whatever. And that's going well, and it's a great joy to us. So, that's what we're about.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Glen, it's been, you know what, like I said, I came across this guy. I went to go and see Sito's Absinthe the other day playing, and then he was opening for them at the Radium, and I was just blown away, and I knew then I had to get him on. But it's such an inspirational story what you just told us, and I think it's fantastic that you're pursuing your love and your passion, and I think it's a great, like I say, inspiration for a lot of people out there. Go for your dreams, do what you want to do. You've got one life, live it. So I think it's great. So well done to you.
Thank you.
All right, so Glen's going to play us 2 more pieces when we come back after this ad break. Glen, what are you going to be playing for us?
I'll play a romance, which is known as Anonymous, but I believe it was written by Yepes as a 13-year-old boy. And I'm also going to play an original piece called First Breeze of Eden.
Oh, we look forward to it. All right, we'll be back after these. Okay, and we're back live. Glen's going to be playing Romance for us. Glen, take it away. Wow, that was beautiful, Glenn. Thank you so much. All right, you're going to play one more piece for us, am I right?
Yeah.
What is this piece again?
First Breeze of Eden.
First Breeze of Eden. Take it away. Absolutely beautiful, Glenn. Wow.
Thank you.
Very great. I mean, it's so special to hear that kind of music being played still. So thank you so much for bringing this gorgeous guitar in today and your great talent. And we wish you all the best for the future. And we'll definitely stay in touch and hopefully get you on again when you're having the number one on the classical top 20 or whatever it is.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been great.
Yeah, we wish you all the best for the future and all that, Glenn.
Thank you.
All right, that was Glen Thompson. So go and check him out on Facebook. He's got a Facebook page. I'm encouraging him to get a website going and, of course, get some recordings going so you can, of course, purchase that fantastic music. All right, we'll be back after these. This is going to be a bit of Scott McKenzie and San Francisco.